Ever feel like you're just drowning in data? You know there are crucial insights hidden in there, but actually finding them and, more importantly, acting on them quickly. Well, that's a challenge, isn't it?
It really is. It's overwhelming for so many people.
Exactly. So today, we're diving into something that could be a real game changer here. It's called Agentic analytics. Forget spending hours tweaking dashboards. We're talking about, well, intelligent systems that can actually do things based on the data all on their own.
That's the core idea. We're basing our chat today on a really good blog post that honestly unpacks this potentially complex topic very clearly.
Right.
So our plan is to explore what agentic analytics actually is, why it's bubbling up right now, how it's different from the BI tools you might be used to, and what impact it might have.
And hopefully give you some real aha moments without getting bogged down in technical jargon.
Precisely. We want you to walk away with a clear picture.
Okay, sounds good. So let's start right there. Agentic analytics. What's the essence of it?
Well, fundamentally, it's a pretty major shift. We're moving away from AI that just helps you understand things, suggests possibilities.
Like decision support.
Exactly. Decision support. We're moving towards AI that proactively analyzes information, reasons through it based on goals, and then actually triggers actions.
So it's not just presenting insights, it's executing based on them.
Yes, automatically. It bridges that gap between insight and action.
That sounds, well, significant. It implies a lot more independence for these systems.
It does. Autonomy is key. And being goal-driven, these systems aren't just passively waiting. They continuously monitor data.
Like live data streams.
Yeah, live data, interpreting what it means for the business goals, and then this is the crucial part, initiating responses without needing a person to step in every time.
Okay.
They operate at machine speed, machine scale, constantly scanning for issues or opportunities.
That's a world away from the usual process, right? Where someone sees a report, tries to figure it out, maybe calls a meeting.
Right. There's often a significant delay, a lag. Traditional BI is mostly reactive. You, the human, have to ask the questions, dig into the dashboards. Agentic analytics kind of flips that. The AI is actively looking for the important questions and acting on the answers.
Okay, so this proactive, action-oriented approach. Why now? What's making this emerge as a big deal right at this moment?
It's really a convergence of a few key things coming together. First off, large language models, LLMs, they've gotten so much better.
Right, we hear about them everywhere.
And it's not just about understanding text anymore. Their ability to interpret data, reason about goals, plan steps, make decisions. It's jumped forward significantly.
So they can understand the intent behind a business goal, not just process numbers.
Exactly. They can grasp the context and figure out the analytical steps needed. That's something older AI really struggled with. They're becoming the intelligent engine, if you like.
Okay, that makes sense. LLMs is the brain. What else? What's the second factor?
The second piece is composable analytics and automation tools. Think of platforms becoming more like building blocks, Lego bricks, almost.
Modular.
Yes, very modular. So AI agents can easily connect to different business tools, CRMs, marketing platforms, databases using APIs, those digital handshakes.
Right.
And event streams and orchestration frameworks so they can see the data and do things, update records, trigger workflows, manipulate dashboards.
Got it. So the LLM brain can now interact with the business body directly, and the third driver.
The third is simply growing demand within businesses for more autonomous systems.
Oh, the business need.
Yeah, in areas like, say, sales forecasting or supply chain optimization or even real-time customer engagement. That delay we talked about, that latency, it can be really expensive.
Lost opportunities, escalating problems.
Exactly. So companies are realizing the value of systems that can react instantly and accurately.
Okay, so we've got the smarter AI, the interconnected tool to let it act, and a clear business reason pulling for it. Makes sense. So how did BI evolve to get us here? Can you trace that path for us?
Sure. It's been a definite journey towards more autonomy. We started way back with static reports, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The huge printouts from IT.
Exactly. Very backward looking. Here's what happened last quarter. And usually took a lot of technical effort to produce.
The classic rear view mirror.
Precisely. Then came a big step. Self-service interactive dashboards. Tools like Tableau, Power BI.
Yeah.
They were revolutionary.
Empowering business users.
Totally. Users could explore data themselves, answer their own questions visually, but, and this is key, they still had to look at the chart, figure out what it meant, and then decide what to do manually.
Right. Still a human decision point to take action.
Yes. The next phase was augmented analytics. That brought in machine learning.
Okay.
So you started getting things like automated recommendations, natural language queries, asking questions in plain English, and anomaly detection. Helpful stuff.
Definitely helpful, but still passive. Still largely passive, yeah.
Right.
It would flag things for you, maybe suggest insights, but you still had to investigate and act.
Okay, and that leads us to agentic analytics. So what's the jump from augmented to agentic? Agentic takes that automation way further. The AI agents don't just suggest. They can act autonomously. They assess a situation against the business rules.
The goals you set.
Right, the goals. Then they figure out a response, and they actually trigger the workflows needed to execute it. It's moving from AI helping humans decide to AI making and executing many operational decisions.
With humans setting the strategy and the boundaries, presumably.
Absolutely. It's crucial. Human on the loop, not necessarily human in the loop for every single micro decision, but definitely setting the rules and overseeing.
So it's shifting from insights for people to outcomes through machines. And like you said, speed is critical today. This closes that loop faster.
Much faster. In today's business world, that latency between data, insight, and action can be the difference between success and failure. Agentic analytics tackles that head-on by monitoring and responding almost instantly.
It frees people up then.
That's the idea. It amplifies human expertise. Let the AI handle the rapid operational stuff so people can focus on strategy, creativity, the bigger picture.
Okay, that framework makes a lot of sense. So if we were to list the defining traits of a truly agentic system, what would they be? What really makes it different?
Good question. There are a few core characteristics. First, and maybe the most obvious, is autonomy.
Right, acting on its own.
Exactly. It operates without constant prompting. It monitors live data, scans for patterns, initiates workflows when conditions trigger it. It's not waiting for you to ask.
Okay, continuous observation. What's next?
Second is goal-oriented reasoning. It's not acting randomly. Its actions are tied directly to specific business KPIs like reduce churn by X% or increase sales in this region.
So it knows why it's doing what it's doing.
Yes, it's constantly checking where are we now versus the goal. What's the best action to close that gap?
Purposeful action. Makes sense. What else?
Third is memory and feedback loops. This is really important. A good agentic system learns.
Learns from its actions.
Yes, from its past actions, from the results, from user feedback, historical patterns. It gets smarter and more effective over time. It adapts.
That learning aspect sounds critical for keeping it relevant. And the last key trait.
The fourth is tool use and orchestration. This is about its ability to actually interact with the real world, digitally speaking.
Like using other software.
Exactly. Using dashboards, APIs, business apps like CRMs or ERPs, databases. Using these tools to act on its insights. So it might update a customer record, trigger an order, adjust a price within limits. It orchestrates actions across systems.
Got it. So it's not just observing and reporting back, it's an active participant. Now, you mentioned this earlier, but let's be really clear. How is this different from AI co-pilots that seem to be popping up everywhere?
Yeah, that's a common point of confusion. They both use AI, often LLMs, but co-pilots are more like intelligent assistants.
They help you do things.
Right. You prompt them. They operate within set boundaries. A co-pilot might say, okay, I analyzed the data. Here are 3 options. What do you want to do? An agentic system has more independence. It can create its own plan, execute multiple steps, often with minimal input. The analogy I like is, a co-pilot helps you do more work, more efficiently. An agent helps you do less work by handling things autonomously.
So the agent might say.
The agent might report back. I saw issue X. I evaluated options Y and Z. I implemented solution Y because it aligned with goal A. Here's the summary.
That's a much bigger leap in autonomy. Okay, this sounds powerful. Where is this actually happening? Can you give us some concrete real-world examples?
Definitely. It's not just theory. Think about sales, for instance. You could have a proactive sales forecasting agent.
Right.
Instead of someone manually reviewing pipeline reports, this agent constantly watches CRM data, marketing interactions. If it spots a territory falling behind or deals stalling out,
It flags it.
it does more than flag it. It could automatically trigger reminders, suggest reallocating marketing spend, or nudge a sales manager to intervene. Maybe it sees Q3 conversions dipping in the West region, so it assigns extra coaching resources and alerts leadership, all automatically.
Wow, okay, that's proactive problem solving. What about another area?
Supply chain. Inventory optimization agents. These things monitor inventory levels in real time, but also factor in weather forecasts, shipping delays, supplier issues.
Lots of very...
Tons. If it detects a potential shortage or a bottleneck forming, it can simulate different options, reroute stock, find alternative suppliers, escalate to procurement if needed. We're seeing big retailers use this to shift inventory dynamically during peak seasons based on live demand.
Managing exceptions at machine speed. Incredible.
It really is. Or think about customer success. Churn prevention agents.
Trying to stop customers leaving.
Exactly. These agents pull in data from everywhere, product usage logs, support tickets, sentiment from emails or calls. They identify customers at high risk of churning.
And then what?
Then they act. Automatically trigger a personalized email with a relevant offer, create a high-priority support ticket, or alert the customer success manager with specific talking points. It closes that loop from risk detected to intervention applied.
Moving beyond just predicting churn to actively preventing it, that's huge. One more.
Sure. Some companies are even experimenting with AI agents as, like, internal business advisors. A digital COO, almost.
Really?
Yeah. An agent that constantly monitors high-level KPIs, revenue retention, deal size, marketing ROI, generates daily briefings, flags anomalies, and even proposes course corrections. Imagine a tireless analyst watching the entire business 24/7.
That paints a powerful picture. From specific tasks to a holistic business oversight.
Yeah.
Okay, so what needs to be under the hood to make this work? What's the essential architecture?
Right, the building blocks. You need a few key layers working together. First, you absolutely need a real-time, composable data infrastructure.
Fast, flexible data access.
Exactly. Near real-time access to all the critical metrics, customer data, operational stuff, system events, all flowing into a unified layer. Think technologies like Snowflake for the data warehouse, dbt for shaping the data, maybe Kafka for streaming, and lots of APIs for connections.
Got it. Foundations of fast, clean data. What's next?
Second, you need event triggers and rich business context. These are the signals that tell the agent, pay attention now, or time to act.
Like a spike in customer complaints.
Could be, or a drop in usage, or a competitor's price change. But the trigger alone isn't enough. It needs context. Why does this matter? Which business goal does it relate to? What are the acceptable responses? That logic needs to be defined.
So understanding the why behind the data signal. Okay, layer 3.
The third is the planning layer. This is where the LLM brain usually sits, but crucially, it's embedded within a framework.
A framework.
Yeah, something that gives the LLM structure and capabilities. These frameworks help it break down big goals into smaller steps, decide the best sequence of actions, and then actually use the tools, call an API, query a dashboard, send an alert. Think frameworks like LangChain, AutoGen, AgentOps. They provide memory, tool use, planning abilities.
So the LLM provides the reasoning, the framework provides the ability to act and remember.
That's a good way to put it.
Oh.
Then, logically, you need the action interfaces and integration layer.
How it actually does stuff.
Precisely. It needs to connect seamlessly to where the business happens, the CRM, the ERP, email, marketing tools, Slack, whatever. It needs to be able to write data back, trigger workflows, notify people securely.
Okay, connecting insight to the operational systems and the final layer sounds crucial.
Absolutely critical. Governance, monitoring, and guardrails. Because these things are autonomous, you need tight controls.
Makes sense.
Policy-based rules, role-based access, clearer ways for humans to step in, audit logs showing exactly what the agent did and why, rollback capabilities. Trust and transparency are paramount. You need to be able to override it.
So not a black box. You need visibility and control.
Essential. You can picture it as a flow. Real-time data comes in, gets interpreted with business context, triggers the planning engine, which uses tools via interfaces to act, all wrapped in governance and oversight.
That's a helpful visual. Okay, so that's the architecture.
Yeah.
Where are we seeing this tech in the market now? Are platforms actually offering this?
Yes, definitely. Agent-like features are being woven into modern analytics platforms. Take Tableau next, for example.
Okay, Tableau.
They're talking a lot about Agentforce and Tableau Pulse. Pulse aims to push relevant metrics and alerts proactively, often into tools like Slack or Teams, so you don't have to go hunting in dashboards.
Bringing insights to where people work.
Exactly. And Agentforce is about enabling more natural language interaction to get answers and maybe even trigger actions. They're really pushing a composable architecture too, so these bits can be reused.
Making analytics proactive and conversational. What about others?
ThoughtSpot is another big one. They have their agentic analyst concept.
Agentic analysts.
Yeah, an evolution of their spotter feature. It proactively surfaces key insights, analyzes why things changed, lets you dig deeper with natural language, and learns from feedback.
Also proactive.
Very. And a big focus for them is embedding these insights directly into other applications. Salesforce, Jira, wherever users are working. They talk about making BI bodiless just seamlessly part of your workflow.
Interesting. So insights find you in your existing tools.
Yeah.
Seems like the big players are definitely moving in this agentic direction.
It's a clear trend, yes. Signals the future of BI, I think.
Okay, so we've covered the potential, the tech. Now the flip side. What are the dangers? The risks and challenges we need to be aware of.
Oh, absolutely. It's powerful tech, but you need to be careful. A major concern is hallucinations or faulty reasoning by the LLM.
The AI getting things wrong.
Yeah. Making stuff up, misinterpreting data, leading to bad automated actions. Imagine launching a big retention campaign because the AI misinterpreted a temporary sales dip. That costs money and maybe damages your brand.
Right. Confident, but wrong.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
It really is. Then there's the risk of over-automation without human judgment.
Letting the machines decide too much.
Exactly. Autonomy is great, but some decisions just need human context, ethics, nuance. Think about complex pricing changes or sensitive HR decisions or handling a major crisis. You can't just fully automate everything. Clear boundaries are essential.
Setting those no-go zones for the AI. Makes sense. What else?
Lack of explainability and trust. If an agent does something and you can't figure out why, it's hard to trust the system.
The black box problem.
Precisely. You need those action logs, traceable reasoning, explainability tools. Users need to understand and be able to verify what the AI is doing. Otherwise, adoption just won't happen.
Transparency is key for trust.
Yeah.
What about security and compliance? That seems huge.
Paramount. Giving agents access to core systems, well, it increases the attack surface, knocks of data leaks, unauthorized actions.
Yeah.
So strict role-based access, data masking, solid audit trails, rollback features, it's all non-negotiable. Especially in regulated industries, you need robust security. Zero trust principles are a good idea here.
Security has to be baked in from the start.
Absolutely. And then there's monitoring, maintenance, and drift. These systems learn and change.
So they might wander off track.
They could. That's model drift. Their performance might degrade, or they might start deviating slightly from the original goals. So you need ongoing monitoring, maybe automated retraining, performance dashboards. You have to treat it like a living system that needs tending.
Not set and forget it. Requires
yeah.
ongoing care. And the last challenge.
Maybe the biggest one in the long run. A culture shift.
How people adapt.
Yeah. Teams need to move from just consuming BI reports to supervising intelligent systems. That means building trust, learning new ways to do quality assurance on AI processes, getting comfortable with AI, making certain decisions within bounds.
So it's a mindset change too.
A big one. Without that shift in how people think and work alongside AI, the technology itself won't deliver its full potential.
Okay, lots to consider there. So for a business listening to this thinking, okay, this sounds interesting, maybe even necessary, but also a bit daunting.
Yeah.
Where do you start? How do you dip your toes in without getting overwhelmed?
That's where the blog post suggests a really sensible phased approach. Crawl, walk, run.
Crawl, walk, run. Okay, what's crawl?
Crawl is all about observation. Focus on defining your key metrics, get that real-time monitoring set up, maybe using tools like Tableau Pulse or ThoughtSpot Monitor that we mentioned. The AI here is mostly just describing what's happening.
Like smarter alerts.
Exactly. Better alerts, maybe with some AI-generated context explaining potential causes for a change, like revenue dipped, potentially due to factors X and Y. No actions taken yet. The goal is just getting the organization used to listening to these data signals promptly.
Okay, step one. Get better at listening to the data in real time, then walk.
Walk is about augmenting human decisions. Here, AI starts recommending actions.
But humans still decide.
Yes, humans are still firmly in control. Think AI copilots suggesting next steps in your CRM, or AI summarizing options for a supply chain issue, or suggesting optimized workflows. The AI assists and speeds things up, but the person makes the final call.
Integrating AI into workflows to help people.
Right. The goals here are building confidence in the AI's suggestions, improving workflow efficiency, and getting better visibility into how the AI reasons.
Okay, crawl is observe, walk is augment. What's run?
Run is where you move to that closed-loop automation we've been talking about.
Agents taking action.
Yes, within pre-approved boundaries. Agents continuously monitor, plan, and execute those micro-decisions autonomously. They only escalate to humans for exceptions or things outside their defined scope.
Like that churn agent automatically sending an offer.
Exactly. It identifies the risk, triggers the offer, logs it, and maybe only alerts a human if the customer needs more complex handling. This is where you really start seeing those autonomous systems translating data directly into outcomes.
That phased approach sounds much more achievable. Start small, build confidence, then gradually increase automation in a controlled way.
That's definitely the advice. Build understanding, build trust, build the capabilities step by step.
Well, this has been fascinating. A really clear look into agentic analytics. It honestly feels like a fundamental change coming to how businesses use data.
I think it is. We're moving past just asking questions of our data or looking at dashboards. We're heading towards deploying these intelligent agents that understand the business, act proactively, and learn as they go.
And the benefits you outlined, cutting down decision time, automating repetitive work, having this always-on intelligence, that's pretty compelling for scale and speed.
Absolutely. It promises to really transform operations, letting machines handle the fast-paced routine stuff so humans can focus on the strategic, the creative, the complex problems.
So something for everyone listening to think about. What could this kind of always-on intelligence mean for your work, for your organization? How might this evolution change things down the road? Definitely something to keep a close eye on.